Hi, Dad. How are you?
Hi, honey, I'm fine.
What did you do today?
Well, the Masters tournament is on, so I've been watching that all
Okay,
day.
well, have you been watching it with anyone else?
No, I've told you. I don't get much company around here.
Oh. Okay, well, what have you had to eat today?
Jill, stop worrying about me. I had some coffee at breakfast and some soup for lunch, but I'm not hungry for anything else.
Dad, I just want to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Have you had any fruits or veggies lately? The doctor told me he wants you to eat some more.
Jill, how does the doctor expect me to eat fruits and veggies? I can chew hard food because I don't have any tooth.
All right, Dad. Well, what do you have planned for tomorrow?
Well, I'll probably do a little bit of work, but then I'll do the same thing as I did today.
I just wish you could get out of your condo and meet some friends.
I haven't had much desire to socialize since your mom died.
I know, Dad. Okay, well, I'm coming in 2 weekends to see you, so maybe we can get out and do something fun.
Sounds good, huh?
Several days later.
Nice to meet you, Jill. I'm your registered dietitian, Jack.
Nice to meet you.
And I'm Colton, your social worker.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so we have reviewed your father's case, but tell me a little more about your father.
Sure. So my dad is mentally there. He's very smart. He still does some part-time consulting for a company that he used to be the CEO of. However, I have some concerns relating to his social interactions. He is very lonely. To give you a little bit of background, he lives in a condo by himself in a retired living community. So even though he lives in this community, he doesn't get much interaction with anybody else. I started to notice he has not have an appetite and doesn't eat much at all. And every time I call him, he's watching TV or sitting on the couch doing consulting work on his computer. So I have some concerns about his activity levels.
I see. Yeah, that is the main concern here. And we actually also ran your father's profile that you provided to us earlier through various different assessments. So the first thing we did is a tool called Determine.
Okay.
Have you heard about this tool before, Jill?
No, I have not.
Basically, what it does is it helps screen potential malnutrition risks for elderly adults.
Okay.
And for your father's case, I remember you mentioned he has some tooth loss, right?
Yes.
And also socially, he's not very active.
No.
And also, he has lost quite a bit of weight recently.
Yeah, he's lost about 30 pounds.
Within the last 2 years, right?
Yeah.
That's not the worst case I've ever seen. Some people lose more than 10 pounds in a month.
Oh, okay.
But because of these, he actually scored a 7 on the determined checklist. This means that he is at high risk for malnutrition. Now, I do believe your father sounds like a healthy man for most of his life.
Yeah, he's able to get around.
And this tool doesn't mean that he does have malnutrition.
Okay.
But it just means that if this is the case, if I were you, I would bring him to some sort of healthcare professional so he could do a more full assessment.
Okay.
Actually, I'm wondering, Jill, have you noticed any changes in, say, hair color, skin tone, or nails, or anything else on your father recently?
So unfortunately, I live in Chicago, and he's in Carmel right now.
Oh.
So I don't get to see my father that much, and I haven't noticed any changes, but maybe if I were to see him more often, I would be able to see changes.
That would be great.
Okay.
But these signs I just said, they're indicators of micronutrient deficiencies.
Okay.
So these are another reason that it will be great if your father gets a chance to meet in person with a healthcare professional.
Okay. So because it takes a little while to get my father into a physician, what should I do in the meantime? How can I improve his nutrition?
So in the meantime, let me take a look. Just to make sure, Jill, I remember you gave us a version of your father's 24-hour dietary recall, right? Yeah, I'm not sure if this is entirely correct because I know some elderly people, they tend to forget things a little bit. But if this is the only thing he ate for 24 hours, he ate only around 800 calories.
Okay, well, yes, that's, from when I spend time with him, that's about what he eats. He really doesn't have an appetite. From what he had told me when he was telling me what he eats, he is a very sharp guy. He has no signs of dementia or anything along those lines. So what I gave you is pretty accurate for and reflects what he does consume on a daily basis.
Okay, I see. Well, here's what we found. He is doing okay in terms of the ratio of micro or macronutrients to total energy he's taking in, but the fact is he's just not eating enough food.
Okay. Yeah.
So we know he has a tooth issue. It may not be easy for him to consume a large portion of food.
Mhm.
But from my understanding, your dad is in an okay economic situation, right?
Yeah.
So there are some products on the market. What they do is they work a little bit similar to dietary supplements.
Okay.
For example, have you heard about nutrition?
I have not.
So you know About is a big company. They have one particular product called Ensure. What it does is basically a protein drink that gives you more than 300 calories and also a healthy mix of minerals and vitamins.
Oh, okay.
If your father has good economic standing, something like this will be helpful. But I do want to let you know that a lot of supplements are not well regulated.
Okay.
So if he's willing to try any of the supplements on the market, it'll be a good idea if you or him check with a healthcare professional, a nutritionist first.
Okay.
It'll be more helpful.
Well, the Ensure sounds good because he doesn't really have that much of an appetite. So if I can provide him with something that provides a high amount of calories to maybe get closer to his needs and he doesn't have to eat a lot and it doesn't hurt his teeth, that would be great. Thank you for that.
Okay. From the information you presented to us, I have a few resources that I'd like to recommend.
Okay.
In terms of the nutrition aspect that your father struggles with, he could be taking advantage of the Older Americans Act nutrition program as well as Meal on Wheels. Have you heard of any of these?
A little bit.
A little bit? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you about them. The Older Americans Act nutrition program is the largest national and nutrition program specifically for older adults.
Okay.
The main goals include reducing hunger and food insecurity, to promote socialization of older adults and also promote health and the well-being of older adults.
Okay.
Meal on Wheels addresses America's most vulnerable and disabled populations.
Okay.
Meals on Wheels focuses on reducing risk, reducing hospital readmissions, and reducing healthcare costs. To exercise, Mr. Jones, your father, should be taking advantage of joining a gym or participating in physical activity that maybe his high-rise community offers, as well as the option Silver Sneakers. Have you ever heard of Silver Sneakers?
I've heard about it.
Okay. Well, what it is basically a free exercise program that is covered with Medicare that is offered to older adults.
Okay.
The intent of this program is to improve, obviously, the health for older adults. Exercise, which obviously we're going to recommend to your dad,
Right.
benefits living longer, preventing falls, reducing the risk of stroke and other heart attacks. It improves bone density, and it also prevents disease.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed meeting with you today, and I'm definitely going to take what you have said into consideration and do the best for my father.
Sure. Thanks.
You're welcome. Wish your father good luck.